Hi, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Spill It. Spill It is a show where I get to speak to inspirational people and share some inspirational stories to connect people together, inspire others, and help people learn something new. And of course, this episode is no different. This is episode 98. It's a little bit of tea with me. You're getting a bonus episode this week. Way! Happy Wednesday. Woo! That's right. It is a bonus episode of Tea with Marcus. Connect, inspire, learn. This is episode 98. There's 3 episodes. We have this one. We have Friday's episode, and then it is the finale on Monday. I can't believe it. There we go. But yes, we're going to discuss everything today about connecting, inspiring, and helping learn something new. When you get in here, don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. Okay, it helps the algorithms. If you help, sorry, let me start that again. Don't forget, when you get in here, like, rate, and subscribe. It's 3 simple things that I ask for. Okay, it just helps the algorithms. It just helps get Spill It out there as well. So if you like it, then LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook look at this and they go, oh, look at this watchable content. Let's push this out to more people. And then, of course, if you're listening to this on the podcast or you listen to this over on YouTube, then you can rate and you can subscribe as well, which will also help me out. Of course, as well, don't forget to go get those comments and questions in live, so then you're part of the conversation as well. And of course, if you're listening to this on playback or you're listening to this on the podcast, then you can always get in touch with me via email. marcus@spillit.uk. Simple as that. Last but not least, don't forget to hit that share button. It's as simple as that, really. It's a little button, just helps me out, just gets it out there to more people. More people watch, more people love it, and more people listen to the older episodes. And of course, join in with the finale, which is going to be on Monday. Okay. Right. It is time. I've got a good one for you this week. It's something that came through into my email inbox yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure it was yesterday. It was either Monday night or on Tuesday night. But yeah, anyway, it's here for you. It is What's Your Ick? Disgusting! That's right. It is What's Your Ick time. This is it's just taken over really. This segment. Everybody can't wait for the icks. The amount of emails that I've received as well about these icks, absolutely love it. Thank you. Keep sending them in. Here, ladies and gentlemen, thems and friends, is your ick for today. 2 times I got the ick and ended things. Love it. Great start. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for sending this in. This is Rebecca from, it just says Merseyside. I mean, I'm assuming even if you wanted to put Liverpool or St. Helens or something like that, they also are in Merseyside. I don't think anybody would know exactly who you are, but thank you for putting Merseyside just to make it even broader. So this is from Rebecca in Merseyside. Okay. 2 times I got the ick and ended things. Number 1, they kept saying bog, like I'm going to the bog. Bog is like, it's such a, like, I don't know, like I want to say like a child's way of saying toilet. Like it's what you would say if you like. I used to say bog quite a lot, but like when I was a wee lad, I used to say bog quite a lot. Oh, going to bog, going to bog. I don't know. I find it a very child. I don't want to say childish as in like, oh my god, you're so childish, but like it is like a child would say bog. Like I don't know what are people's thoughts out there on that one. Well, yeah. So number 1, they kept saying bog, like I'm going to the bog, and then number 2, we went to see the band Paramore. Ooh, congratulations. I hope they were really, really good live. Yeah, so we went to go and see the band Paramore. I think it, and sorry, and I glanced at him and he was gently nodding along to the music like a groovy dad. And then I didn't fancy him anymore. I love that ending as well. Okay, so just to set the scene for anybody who doesn't know who Paramore are this rock / emo band who play quite jumpy tracks essentially with like you guitar solos and all of that lot. And so this guy who she was either into or dating at the time, she said at the beginning of the email that she ended things, so I'm assuming they were actually in a relationship. And so she went to go and see Paramore, and then yeah, essentially he was there like really heavy music, like yeah, that, and he was like a groovy dad in her own words. Ah, that is genius. Absolutely love that email. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for sending that in. Rebecca from Merseyside. Genuinely means a lot. Thank you so much. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, those and friends, that was your ick for today.
Disgusting!
So many of these cool little icks. I genuinely love them so much. I can't wait for the final episode. There are some stories I was literally just counting them up then during the little jingle. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, etc. I've got quite a lot of different icks that are all like story ones as well, which I just absolutely love. So yeah, thank you for sending yours in. If you've got any icks, if you've got any comments, if you've got any concerns, if something has really peed you off with someone, and it might not necessarily be an ick, but it's just to call someone out on something that they do, and you just think, come on, you need to wise up, then let me know. Drop me an email. It's at marcus@spillit.uk. Okay, let's get into this. So this is an episode where I wanted to talk about, as I say, it's a bonus episode. So this isn't your deep dive episode. So this isn't anything to do with, I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't anything like your normal deep dive episodes. So you normally have your deep dive episodes on a Friday about what we discussed on the Monday, which you've got friends or family coming up on Friday. But tonight's episode, so on Wednesday night, we are doing a bonus episode just called Connect, Inspire, Learn. I thought it was a really good episode to do because it talks about the pillars of Spill It. So I went back on season 1 when we first ever started, and I had a look at the pillars, or what I used to call the pillars. So Spill It will always follow these 4 pillows. Apparently, we're all going to sleep. Spill It will always follow these 4 pillars, and number 1 was to connect. So the reason that I chose connect was quite plain and simple. We were in the middle of lockdown, and we were all being locked away and all of that lot. And as I said, last week's episode, I believe, Spill It was never supposed to be what it is today. It was never supposed to be a podcast. It was never supposed to be like as big as what it is now. It was only ever supposed to be a little Facebook live chat show, and it was a way for connecting people together because we were all separated, like we were all locked up in our houses. So it was the very, very first lockdown. This is when COVID the COVID, the coronavirus, however you want to call it, it was when that was at its peak. And we saw in the UK, we saw different parts of the world being closed off. And then the cases started in Preston. No, the cases started in the UK. Where did I get Preston from? I got Preston on the mind. Okay, so the cases started in the UK. and then the cases rose to about I think it was like 1,000 or 2,000 or something like that, like known cases. And Boris Johnson, who was PM at the time, Prime Minister at the time, he did a conference and he said, "Oh, if we don't know how this spreads, we don't know the infection rates, we don't know anything about it, and so therefore, if, for example, these cases carry on increasing, then we will go into a national lockdown." And unfortunately, the cases reached, I believe it was about 13,000 cases. And there was another press conference, and we were locked down. We were locked down from March, I believe. God, it seems so long ago. And yeah, so the very first lockdown, I remember we made a little fire pit outside. We made a little fire pit outside. And I remember on that very first day, we were all just sat around this fire. And there was me and my partner and my brother, and we were all just sat around this campfire, this fire pit. And I was just thinking, this is something serious now. This is something huge. And then a couple of weeks went by where we were either working from home or we were well, at first, everybody was locked down. Nobody was really working from home because I don't think anybody really. Excuse me. I don't think anybody really was working from home like on like a serious thing. And then companies started realizing that actually they could work from home, or that they needed to work from home. They needed to start getting people back to work. So a lot of people were still furloughed, but then if you could work from home, you were allowed to work from home. And I remember, I think it got to about May time. I think things started opening up a little bit more. I think pubs were open, and but you're only for outdoor dining. And then I think, if I remember rightly, in May time, the retail stores were back open as well. And I remember work at the time where I used to work, they needed a lot of online content creating. And then the second lockdown happened, I believe, just before summer. So around June time, the second lockdown happened. And we all thought, we're not getting out of this. And so that's when Spillit was created. Spillit started in June as a way to connect people together. Because we were locked up in our houses, we were told not to leave. We were told not to speak to loved ones. We were told that we can't go around to people's houses and all that lot. And so, therefore, I wanted to create a platform that we could use to connect each other up and hear other people's stories and hear how lockdown was affecting certain people. And that's what we did. So that's where Connect, the first pillar of Connect, came from. The second pillar, Inspire, that came from the inspirational. Like, I started speaking to some amazing people who had so many different things to share, and their stories really and truly inspired me. And so that's where the second pillar came from. The second pillar came from these inspirational stories. As I said on the last bonus episode that we did, the original thing, so where my tagline is, it's a show where I get to speak to inspirational people and share inspirational stories. Like, that's where this came from, the whole inspiration thing. I wanted to share stories from inspirational people. And so therefore the second pillar came about. It was to inspire. So we had to connect and we had to inspire. And then there was actually as I said last time, there was a third pillar, which was teach. And it was to teach people something new. And then everybody should be learning. That was the 4 pillars of Spillit. It was to connect, inspire, teach, and learn. So we would be connecting people together. We would be inspiring others. We will be teaching something new and learning. And we would all be learning something. And I think it was like a couple of weeks of doing those 4 pillars. And then I looked at teach and learn as the same type of thing where we're all learning every single day. I'm learning. And so therefore I dropped, and I think I announced it on the show as well, that it wasn't about teaching. It was about learning through conversation. It was about listening to people's stories. And even though you may think one thing, it might be that actually they get you to think in a different way. Or just I might think that I know absolutely everything, but I'm still learning and I'm learning from all of these different people. And so therefore, learn came about. So then it was to connect, inspire, and learn. And that's where the tagline came from. It was, this is a show where we speak to inspirational people and share inspirational stories to connect people together, inspire others, and help people learn something new. And I've been so proud of those 3 little pillars, those 3 little things that have kept at Spillet's core. No matter which guests we've had on, whether they be somebody that's just been somebody that's just round the corner, a friend, an old friend, or a celebrity, or a band, or a duo of people, business owners, authors, no matter who it's been, those 3 messages have been very, very clear. They have been connecting with people who who wouldn't necessarily have been able to connect to previously, a different type of audience, if you will. They've had an inspirational story. No matter who it is, they've had an inspirational story. And we've all, including myself, learnt something from that person. And that's why at the end of every episode, we've been doing the guests leaving inspirational quotes, because I wanted them to realize that coming on here isn't about self promotion. It isn't about coming on here to talk about a book that they've just released. And like, there's been so many different guests that I turned down because they wanted to come on the show because they just released a book. They've and when I've asked them, like, what would you want to come on the show to talk about, the things that they've said are, well, I've just released a book and I would love to talk about that, and I've just released this, and I've just set up my own business and I'd love to talk about this, I'd love to promote my business. And I've always said no, because that's not what Spillit is. Spillit is about inspiring others, which is why I've been very picky about the certain guests that I've had on the show, because it was not about self promotion. It's been about inspirational people sharing inspirational stories. Look, this is what I have done. This is what I have gone through, and you can do it, and you can get through this, and you can sort your life out and come out the other side, and you can help inspire others by telling them my story, etc. Those are the types of stories that I've wanted. I'm genuinely so blessed and so proud to have kept Connect, Inspire, Learn at the heart of absolutely everything that Spillit has done. It has been such a great ride. I'm genuinely so sad to see it coming to an end. It breaks my heart to see it coming to an end, because there have been some really, really good guests. There have been some amazing stories. There's been, and I have kept everything. I have kept everything to those 3 values, no matter who has wanted to come on the show. I mean, in season 2, when we launched season 2, I had over 200 applicants. I had to interview 200 people. And that wasn't like interviewing them on the show, it was interviewing them to get on the show. Because I opened the floodgates, I opened it up. I was like, let's go. Let's see who wants to come on to Spill It. And over 200 people got in touch and said that they wanted to come on to Spill It. And I whittled them down. Because not everybody wants to come onto a podcast like this or a show like this for the right reasons. Sometimes they want to come on the show purely because of the fact that they want to promote themselves. And I get it. I get that this is an easy platform. Not Spill It, like, just podcasts in general, audio shows, live broadcasts, things like that. I get that it's the easiest way for you to get to a certain audience that you are looking to captivate, and a certain audience to buy into your product or buy your latest book or whatever it is. I get that it's the easiest way to advertise yourself. But I was very, very specific. You don't come on to Spill It to do that. We are about people. We are about connecting people together, inspiring others. We don't want to talk about, like, if you've released a book because you've gone through certain circumstances and whatever, happy days. Come on the show, talk about that book. Talk about what inspired you to make that book. But we're not going to talk about how much that book is and where they can get it from and, all of that law. Like, oh, okay, so give us some more details about your book. Nah. You came on to Spill It to help inspire other people, and you talk about your story. How did you get there? I remember doing like pre-interviews for people where I'd always say, so we talk about where we started, we talk about what was the turning point, and we talk about what was the end result. How did you get to where you are now? Let's talk about your journey. And there were so many people that were like, normally I don't talk about this. Like normally I talk about this. Then then you're not ready. You're not right for Spill It. I was so particular. I was like a little diva. But yeah, I wanted to do the episode today just to kind of reiterate how important it is and how those 3 values. I think even with everything that I'm going to do, like going forward, I think I'll always hold those 3 values to heart. Connect, inspire, learn. I should connect to, and I think a lot of people could take those 3 values and live from them. Connect with others, connect with people that you might not necessarily speak to. I mean, we say at the top of this episode, share this because it gets people in who might not necessarily know what Spill It is. And it gets people then, realizing that actually we do something completely different here. So we connect with them. We're connecting with people who we wouldn't necessarily connect with. And that's what I do. That's the message that I'm going to be taking away from Spill It. That's something that I'm going to continue doing. Connecting with people who I wouldn't necessarily connect with, who I never thought I would connect with, because everybody's got a story to say. And people inspire you. They inspire you, and it might not necessarily be that they've had like a raging success in the work that they do, but even just like somebody's thought process or the way that some people articulate themselves or some of the ideas that they have. Everybody is an inspiration in their own way. You listening to this at home, you listening to me ramble on, you have something about you that will help inspire others. Whether it be your kindness, whether it be the fact that you wear your heart on your sleeve, whether it be that you're the type of person who is the first person on a dance floor, whether you are the type of person who likes to go out and sing in the rain or go out wearing shorts and a t-shirt during a winter month. Something that you do will inspire others. Some people will look at you and go, you are an inspiration, because I wish that I could do that. I wish I could have the confidence to wear that. I wish I could have the confidence to say what you say. Every single person has a story to tell and is an inspiration to others. Might not necessarily be an inspiration to everyone, but you're definitely an inspiration to someone. And we all need to learn. We all need to learn from each other. Learn what people are saying, learn what people's backgrounds are, learn what's right and what's wrong. We'll never, ever know everything. So keep your mind open and keep learning from other people. So there you go. Connect with people who you wouldn't necessarily connect with. Keep being you because you are an inspiration. And keep your mind open to learning all sorts of new possibilities. I'm gonna go because I'm getting myself a little worked up and a little bit emotional. Yeah, just I'm 100% taking connect, inspire, and learn because I think it is true. You have to connect with people. You have to keep inspiring people, and you have to keep learning something new every day. So yeah, that's what I'll be taking away from Spill It. And I hope that you take away that too. And I hope that, next time that you see someone and they maybe just stood on their own, or if you see someone and they're new to a community group, for example, or, you bump into someone down the street or you see someone in the pub on their own or something like that. What's the harm in just connecting with that one person? Because you could help them and they've got a story to tell. And always, always, always remember that you are an inspiration to others, whether you see it or not. Inspirational people don't necessarily see that they are an inspiration, but you do something that will inspire others. And it could just be as small as breathing, it could be as small as the way that you articulate yourself in a conversation. It could be as small as the way that you handle yourself in a certain situation. You will inspire someone. So keep shining and keep inspiring. And of course, just keep your mind open for learning new things, for learning more about yourself and learning more of this crazy little thing called Earth and the people and the things that reside on it. Thank you so very much for letting me ramble on. And thank you so much for jumping on and saying hi and your likes and your shares. I have noticed them. So thank you. I genuinely do appreciate it. It does genuinely mean a lot to me. That takes us to the end of today's bonus episode of Tea with Marcus. Now, next on Spill It, we have got a brand new Tea with Marcus episode where we're going to be doing a deep dive with Emmy and Mike's episode on Monday. So we will be talking about Friends Are Family. So as I said on their episode, them two are some of the closest friends that I have got. And I have genuinely met some amazing people along this journey, so I'll be doing a little bit of a talk on why friends are family and why we should always be connecting with other people. Okay, because you never know who your next family member that you'll create will be. So make sure you stay tuned for that. For everything, for everything Spill It related, or if you wanted to follow, if you wanted to check out all of my socials, and you can do, then you can find me anywhere that there is an @ symbol with @that_Marcus W. It's as simple as that. And for anything Spill It related, make sure that you head over to my email inbox and drop me an email, marcus@spillit.uk. Send me your stories, send me your icks, send me your stories about icks, send me your comments, your concerns, your questions, send me absolutely anything. I will gladly read it in my inbox, okay? There's only a few more episodes left, so that inbox is staying open. So send in me some emails, all right? And last but not least, thank you once again to absolutely every single person who has come on the show tonight and dropped a comment, dropped a like, dropped a share, etc. Thank you for listening to this on playback. Thank you for listening to this on the podcast. Thank you so much for jumping on every single week. You guys are absolutely epic, and I love you all. Thank you. And until we spill it again, it's bye for now. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Spill It. You can catch Spill It live every week over on Facebook, YouTube, and now LinkedIn. You can also catch up with Spill It on the move on your preferred podcast streaming service. And don't forget to follow me on all my socials at @Marcus W. And for anything Spill It related, you can always get in touch with me by dropping me an email, marcus@spillit.uk.